Hi Pisces, this is your horoscope for August 2017. Thank you for joining me. It is really nice to be with you. On the 2nd of August, we've got Uranus going retrograde. That's the first big thing that's happening here in August. Uranus is the planet of rebellion and eccentricity and energy. And some of you will have made a lot of progress over the last couple of months in terms of your finances and the way you make money. Others will have really struggled when it comes to finances, and it's been super chaotic because you can never tell with Uranus. It goes either way. Either you can harness the energy and really use it to kind of ram through stuff, or it's chaotic and it causes confusion. So for the people who really have made a lot of progress, with Uranus going retrograde now, things will slow a little bit, especially in terms of your finances. But if things have been ultra chaotic in your finances and you just have been all over the place, Uranus going retrograde means that things are settling down and getting quieter and more predictable and manageable, which is great. On the 7th of August, we have a partial lunar eclipse, and that is also a full moon in Aquarius. So these are kind of complicated. There's a lot of energy going on. So I've made a separate video on the full moon. Have a look at that. I'll make a separate video on the new moon in Leo, which happens at the end of the month as well. But for you guys, Pisces, the lunar eclipse, the full moon in Aquarius, happens in your 12th house of spirituality. It's at 11 degrees, which is the master number of service. So you're being showered with this Aquarian energy, and you will feel very generous and very forgiving during this time. It's an eclipse, so the full moon is interrupted, and when the full moon is interrupted like this, the energy kind of gets stuck and it lasts for about 6 months. So you're going to be far more forgiving, far more humanitarian in your outlook for the next 6 months, which is really great for your day-to-day life and for your relationships and for everything going on, because you're not going to sweat the small stuff. You're looking at the bigger picture, and you're really much more generous and forgiving of other people. And because of that, your daily life really improves. You have much more energy because you're being much more positive to other people, so your environment becomes much more positive. This is also on the south node of the moon, so there's an ability to let go of things. So you will learn what works for other people and what doesn't, and how you can help and how you cannot help. So over the next 6 months, you're really going to learn a lot about how you can be of service to other people, and you will get such a great sense of fulfillment out of that that you will want to keep doing it. And it's likely that if you haven't found your life purpose yet, that through this process you can, because it will lead you to where you can be of most use. That's from the 7th of August, and the effects will last 6 months after that. On the 9th of August until the 20th of August, we've got Venus and Pluto opposing each other. Venus is in Cancer in your 5th house of love and fun and children and romance, and Pluto is in your 11th house in Capricorn, and the 11th house is friendships and hopes and dreams and things like that. So Venus in Cancer is going to make you emotional, but as a Pisces, out of all of the signs, you're really going to benefit from Venus being in Cancer the most, because you're able to navigate the emotional landscape, unlike the earth signs or the air signs or the fire signs. And you're going to be able to use this loving, watery energy of Venus to really nurture and take care of, and to really be there for the people you love. And if there are no people who you love, then you will feel a great desire to express your love and to take care of someone or something. And that is going to transform, this is where the opposition comes in, that's going to transform the landscape of what your life looks like. Because if you have this huge desire to care and nurture and love people, then You're either going to find new friends or a new partner, or you're going to buy yourself a pet, or you'll do something where you can give your love to. And that transforms the way your life looks, because it's going to be fuller and much richer. And there will be more people in it, or dogs or cats. But that is really a wonderful 11-day period where you will just feel like your cup is overflowing with love. You know, like in the tarot, the Ace of Cups, my cup runneth over with feelings of nurturing and caring and love. Other signs will find this difficult. They'll be a little bit weepy and won't necessarily be able to deal with all the emotional stuff, but you guys can. So you're going to really benefit from this. On the 12th of August until the 5th of September, we've got Mercury, the communication planet, going into retrograde. Now, Mercury is in Virgo, it rules Virgo, so the fact that it's in the sign that it rules and it goes retrograde is a problem, because it's a double whammy. It's in your 7th house of relationships, which is interesting because I've just talked about that amazing gift of Venus and Pluto, which lasts from the 9th to the 20th, and now this comes in from the 12th of August until the 5th of September, and it means that there's the likelihood of misunderstandings and miscommunication in your relationships. But what it's saying is that despite the retrograde, your relationships and your desire to nurture and take care of and to love is going to beat out Mercury and will transform your life. So it may be that you don't end up with the dog that you ideally imagined, or the partner or the friendships that you ideally wanted to have, but that you end up with something else that you truly love and care about. But Mercury throws you a kind of a curveball, and it's kind of like, what's the expression? We plan and God laughs, or something like that, you know, because what is it? You plan your life, but everything in between, is different. We all have plans for our lives, but it never goes to plan, does it? So Mercury throws you a curveball here. So the person or the thing that you give your love to may be different than you imagined it would be. So if that's a surprise or unpleasant, or if you don't want that, if you say, well, that's a bit of a stretch, I mean, I'm not gonna do that, then absolutely you can say, no thank you. For instance, if it's a dog or a relationship, no thank you, you're not quite right for me, I'm gonna wait and see who is right. That's your prerogative, okay? So don't just think, oh, it's not what I imagined it to be, I have to accept it. You don't have to accept anything. You're being given opportunities here to love, and more people will come in and you can pick, almost. So you're very lucky this month. So that stays in retrograde in the 7th until the 5th of September. So Mercury retrograde is just a pain in the neck sometimes with communication, computers, contracts, having conversations. There's the potential for things to go wrong and miscommunication. So really be careful with that kind of, if you're doing in paperwork, dot your I's, cross your T's. If you're talking to someone, watch your words, you know, be very sensitive when you're talking about sensitive subjects, how you're saying things. You don't come across as like heavy-handed or whatever, you know. Mercury in retrograde just makes it more difficult for you to use all your communicative gifts to their full extent. Okay, that's what you're working with until the 21st of August. And on the 21st of August, we've got a total solar eclipse, which is also a new moon in Leo. So I'm going to make a separate video on that. But for you Pisces, it happens in your 6th house and it's all Leo. So you've got the sun and the moon together, obviously, because it's a new moon, they move together. You've got the North Node, Mars, which is the archetypal male planet. And then you've got the transiting midheaven, which is your work, all in Leo, sitting in your 6th house. So that pulls in a lot of fiery energy into your 6th house of health. So your health is going to really, really improve. Absolutely, your health will improve with this because you're being given fiery energy, which energizes you, which cleanses you, which is really, really good for just moving through it and having the energy to move through it while things are kind of going on in your body. If you don't have perfect health, you will be able to continue while you're healing, while the healing process continues. So that's on the 21st, but it's also an eclipse. So it's interrupted, and because it's interrupted, the effects of this last 6 months. So you're going to have great energy for the next 6 months. You're also going to be much more fired up about your day-to-day life and your day-to-day routine. And you're going to be much more interested in things, and you're going to have more fun, and you're going to explore more things, and you're going to do more. You will have much more energy, form new relationships, and your life gets bigger in August. I really see it expanding. The eclipse is also on the North Node, which means that this Leo energy is being pulled in for the next 6 months. So you will have the fire and the energy, and out of all of the signs of the zodiac, you're going to have the most energy physically, which is amazing. Now, on the 26th of August, Venus, which has been in Cancer and has made you so romantically inclined this whole month, she now moves into Leo in your 6th house. And Venus in Leo is very confident and beautiful and public. And again, it's about being confident, transforming your day-to-day routine so that it's something that you love and enjoy. And that's what this fire is giving you. You've got the fire to kind of cleanse out the things that you don't want and that you don't like. And you can use the fire to build what it is you do want to have in your life. And it relates to work and it relates to love. And really anything you want because of Mars, because Mars is desire. If you pursue what it is you desire, you're going to have a really good time here in August because you've got all this backing behind you. So it looks like an amazing month for you guys. I wish you all the best of luck. If you'd like a private reading with me, then please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. Click on the readings tab to order your reading. What I do is I draw up your birth chart by looking at your place of birth, date of birth, and time of birth. If you don't have the time of birth, I can either use sunrise or I can rectify the chart to find out what the time was. And then I draw up your charts and I can see what your life purpose is, what your vocational aptitudes are, what your strengths and weaknesses are. And I can also put the transits around this and see how these influences affect you specifically. So if you'd like to do that, then please get in touch via the website. Please subscribe to the channel if you like my videos, and I'll speak to you next month.